Peace, everyone. About to turn on my light. I'm going to give it a second for people to get on and join me while I relax. I'm all shiny, excuse me. I'm over here conditioning my skin right now. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I want to share some things about like rapes, molestations, and people taking others' innocence away. I just want to be very real right now when it comes to this. Peace and greetings, sis. So I was raped when I was 4 years old. I was raped, and I was raped by a neighbor. And at the time, I didn't know that we had anything down there that could do anything. I thought all that we were able to do from that space was pee. That's all I thought. You know, I never knew of anything, seen anything, heard of anything that could happen in that, area. And when I was 4 years old, a neighbor, I was outside playing with my brothers and friends and my sisters, and we were like playing tag and things. And I was in the corridor of our apartment complex in a stair area, and a neighbor, I think he was like between the age of 16 to 18. I don't know. He seemed like a very, very grown man when I was that age, but I don't know how old he was. I was 4 though, and he was definitely way older than me, but he took advantage of me. And he like was picking me up and playing with me and swinging me around. And I was like, yay, how fun. Yay, this is so awesome. And then he, he pulled out his penis and he was like, here, suck it like it's a lollipop. And, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I was so confused. I didn't know. But then, and then he, actually broke my hymen when he raped me, and I was so confused. I was in so much pain. I didn't know what to do. I took my underwear and my shorts that I was wearing when I went home, and I just like stuffed them at the bottom of the dirty clothes hamper. I didn't want my mom to see because I felt like, oh, I did something bad with him rather than like something happened to me. I felt like I was the one that did something wrong at the time. Oh, no sad faces. I know it's a bit of a harsh story, but I am going to get to the lighter side of things, okay? Because I am a totally different person now. But yeah, so I didn't tell anyone I didn't tell my mom until I was like 13 years old. And what I knew about myself is that I naturally would have been a woman to wait until marriage to have sex. But when that happened to me, I, all I could think about after that particular incident was sex. Like I was really, really horny. I was like humping on every little thing and, just doing all of this stuff. And I just grew up, very promiscuous and thinking about sex all the time. So I got into really horrible relationships, and I was actually in an abusive relationship when I was like 12 years old. He was also 12, and he was the guy that I willingly lost my virginity to. And it was a very tough relationship. I was so in love and, puppy love, but it was really, really strong and intense. And I just didn't know myself. I really lost myself from having been raped when I was 4, very confused. And I was raped after that too. I was raped a few times in my life, actually about 5 times. And that really messed me up. It messed up my hormones really, really bad. I had severe hormonal imbalances and emotional issues and trauma and things like that. And I felt very lost when it came to relationships. And a reason that I feel I feel like I had become really promiscuous because it's kind of like if someone's going to take it from me, I might as well give it away myself. And so, I was very promiscuous when I was a little child, or like a teenager, not a little child. Excuse me, I'm getting messages right now. When I was a young girl, I was very promiscuous, and I just kind of like, slept around, and I didn't feel like it was important anymore. I remember my mom talking about keeping our virginity until marriage, even before that happened to me. You keep your virginity for marriage, you keep it for marriage. And I was one of those children that was like very spiritual. I was very into God. I was very into Jesus. And I wanted to be like the perfect person. And I didn't want to do anything. And I didn't want to do anything wrong. I always just wanted to live righteously. And so when that happened to me, something happened psychologically, like, okay, well, people could just take it. So why not? Why don't I just give it away? It doesn't matter, And what ended up happening to me also is that I became very disconnected from my body, very, very disconnected, and to a sense where I didn't really feel my body. I didn't have many sensations. Like in the lower extremities in my vagina. Yeah. But I just didn't understand the body. I didn't understand what it needed. I didn't understand how to take care of it, that it needed to move and dance. I just disconnected myself from my body, and I just like focused on my mind so much and focused on things outside and the ethers and the cosmos and the stars. And I was just all here and barely connecting with myself in other areas because I felt like I didn't really have control over those areas, that something could happen, someone could take it, and it would just be theirs and not mine's, And so I dealt with many issues from that. I ended up, because understand we are metaphysical and electromagnetic, that with me being disconnected from my body, I dealt with certain disconnections of my body. So I dealt with like my legs going numb often, poor circulation in my legs and feet and things like that. Even like really serious heart palpitations and anxieties and, different things. Like I will get a sensation in my body and freak out. Like, what does this sensation mean? Does it mean that I'm dying? What's happening in my body? I don't understand this. I need help. And it's like, oh, you're hungry. Like, oh, that's what that sensation is. I just was so disconnected from my body that if anything was going on with it, I wouldn't understand. And I would feel like it meant something more significant when it really even didn't. And so I suffered for many years from health anxiety. For a very long time, hypochondria and health anxieties. And so I suffered, with this for a long time. And I was even kind of like battling the demon of lust, very lustful, always wanting to have sex, thinking about sex every day. All day, in an unhealthy way. I mean, I still do, but it's in a healthier expression. And I just feel like that disrupted my connection with men. I was very fearful of men. I felt that they would either take something from me or they would take something from someone that I loved, rape a family member or someone close to me, or I couldn't even date men outside of my children's fathers because I felt like, a guy would probably hurt my daughter. It was really, really hard for me to learn to trust men again, and I mean, and brothers, definitely be patient with the women, because most women, it's more women have been raped or molested than have not been raped or molested. So if they're dealing with trust issues, understand that those trust issues could be stemming from something having happened to them, something serious having happened to them, like what happened to me. It was really hard for me to trust men because I would just go around guys and, and just be a normal person, like, oh, hi, hey guys, and then I'm getting raped, So, and I was raped, I was not raped, but I was molested by like this 50-something-year-old man. He was like in his late 50s, like 58 or something like that. and I was 13 years old, and I used to like clean their house and wash their dishes, and he like came up to me and started touching my breast and was like, if I had sex with you, would you tell your mom? And I was just like, yeah, I would, I was scared. And then I spent the night at a friend's house, and her uncle, I was 14, and her uncle came on to me, and he was all looking up my dress and down my dress and just like doing whatever he wanted, and that happened to me a lot, like a lot growing up. And so at a very young age, I was programmed to not trust men, to be afraid of them, and to just even like kind of not respect them, that they couldn't have control over themselves, that they would go so far to hurt a child. And people think that when you're raped or molested, that okay, it's just a sexual thing, you're going to be fine, but they don't realize that it could cause major health issues, because hormonal imbalances are created when a child, are created for many different reasons, but can be created from a molestation or a rape. And these things can lead to many different ailments, even cancer, cervical cancer, all of that. And another thing that was a result of me getting raped and molested, I ended up having a lot of abortions. I've had a lot of abortions in my life. In my early 20s, I had a lot of abortions. And I would have abortions kind of like it didn't matter. Like, oh, yeah, I'm pregnant. Oh, we got to get rid of this. Yeah, abortion. Yeah, like, who does that? And I was doing that because I felt so disconnected from my body and disconnected from anything that grew within my body that came from my body. I just was like, all right, well, I'm not going to keep this. I didn't have care for that area down there and anything that was created from that area. And so, nevertheless, I just want to share my story with others who may have experienced something similar and may be hurting and may be lost and confused and may have these different things and they don't even realize where it's coming from, like what I just stated, the health issues, some of the health issues that could come about, like some of the health issues that could come about from hormonal disruptions are so many things. I mentioned cancer. You could catch cancer from hormonal disruptions. You could also deal with issues with your body, like your development. You can overly develop or you can underdevelop. I was one of those women that underdeveloped. I didn't fully develop. I didn't develop like my sisters developed, I was much slower to develop as a woman. I was like stuck in a child's body for many, many, many years, and that bothered me and it made me feel very insecure, led me to attempt to get plastic surgery when I was 24. Luckily, the doctors were like, we're not going to touch you. We don't feel right. We're just not going to touch you. They felt some energy or what have you. And then also, I was a lesbian for many years. I dated girls and I was actually the guy in the relationship. I took on the masculine role within the relationship, and it was because I was very insecure and I was dealing with severe hormonal imbalances, and I didn't feel like the other girls. I didn't have, I still have very small body parts, and I didn't feel feminine. I didn't feel beautiful. So I was like, if you can't beat them, join them. So I dated girls for a long time and I was very butch. I had a very masculine personality. I used to beat people up and all kinds of things. And I know that those hormonal imbalances caused a lot of problems in my life. Like a lot of problems. I did 2.5 years in juvenile hall for something I didn't do, but I was naturally like a very wild teenager and, I was bad. I was always really intelligent and made good grades, but, other than that, I was a holy hot mess and I wouldn't even go to school sometimes, And hormonal imbalances can cause all that, can cause you to break out, cause so many issues, and cause homosexuality as well. And so a lot of people are homosexual because they were raped or something was taken from them and they don't know how to express their sexuality. So homosexuality, it comes from different imbalances, within ourselves, chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances. And homosexuality is kind of like a sexual retardation, and transgenderism is sexual schizophrenia. Now, this doesn't mean to attack those who are homosexual or who are transgender. I have a lot of friends that are homosexual myself, and I was homosexual myself, shout out to my ex-girlfriends who follow me on Facebook, but yeah, these, being raped or molested in all of this can cause you to have sexual disorders, hormonal disorders that could lead to health issues and all of those things. But now let's get to the lighter side of life and reality, and where I've come from and why I decided to make this video in the first place, to let you guys know you can have your power back. You could take your power back and you can feel restored. So one of my biggest things was I always wanted to wait till marriage to have sex. Even when I was a little girl, because my mom used to tell me, God wants you to keep your virginity. I didn't know what a virginity was or that there was a something there. I didn't know. All I knew was that my virginity was going to be kept for my husband. That's all I knew. And so, but what has happened to me, and hopefully I can shed some light for other women out there, other men out there, is that I decided that I am going to wait for marriage to have sex. I've taken a vow of celibacy right now in today's time, and I'm more of a virgin today than I was. I'm more of a virgin today than I was back then, even than I was when I was 4, because I'm more pure in my spirit. I'm cognitive. I'm aware. I'm alert. I'm even pure in my body. I've been fasting. I've been detoxing. I've been healing myself. I've been exercising. I've been really taking care of my body. I've been stretching it. I've been giving it what it needs. I know what it is. I know what it needs. I know what it wants, and I take care of it consciously, so I'm more of a virgin today than I was before. My thoughts are more pure. My energy's more pure. My heart is more pure. My mind. I'm not just a virgin in my body, where I am also a virgin there, because I have taken that back. And no one has that, until my husband enjoys that part of me and that expression in me. So whatever that young guy did to me when I was 4, I'm not that girl anymore. All my cells are brand new. We generate new cells like every 28 days, and every 7 years we generate a whole new being. It's just the psychological thing that trips people up. And it's important to heal from the psychological things and to know that those things are not currently happening. And also what has helped me to heal psychologically was that I've forgiven the guy that did that to me based upon his own ignorance. He was ignorant. That's why he did that to me. He didn't know. He didn't know that it was going to lead to all of this stuff in my life. Not saying that he would have cared, but he didn't know. He was ignorant, as we all have been ignorant. We've been in a 12,000 year cycle of ignorance. So I forgive everyone in my life. I forgive everybody in my reality that have, crossed me, done wrong to me, have hurt me, my exes, haters. I forgive them all, because they all are just expressing their ignorance. Because if they had real true intelligence of the divine, they wouldn't do the things that they do. If he knew that, in his next lifetime, he could get raped in the butt, or, something crazy could happen to him, he wouldn't have done those things. If he was alert and aware of the higher mind that dwells within, he would not have done that. And he probably was raped as a young boy, to why he did that to me when I was a young girl. Because oftentimes the person that is hurting others have been hurt themselves in one way or another. So me forgiving everyone for their ignorance has helped me heal psychologically from that experience as well, in a very, very major way. Then doing all the things I've been doing for my health has helped me, take my body back. I have control over this thing. I do with it what it needs to be done. That has helped me. And just forgiving myself for the things that I have done wrong. I haven't been a perfect person. I have hurt others, and just elevating my level of compassion for others has helped me heal so much psychologically, so much, And I just want everybody out there to know that you could take your power back. You could do the things that I've done, and there's so many other things that you can do to heal from these things, but it's important. Know that all you have is the present moment. The past was literally here for you to learn, grow, and evolve. That's the one reason that you came to planet Earth. So if you understand that the one reason you came to planet Earth was to grow and evolve, and the universe is going to send you any lesson for you to grow and evolve, then you could get past the things that you have experienced and allow yourself to grow and evolve, because that's what you came here for. And another thing is that owning up to karma. I know that could be kind of hard, owning up to karma, like, oh, this 4-year-old didn't deserve that. But I know that I've had many lives before, and I know personally in my past life that I wasn't good to children. I wasn't good to my children. And I think I dealt with some issues with my mother or something, or I wasn't like a good mother or something like that. But in my early childhood years, I dealt with issues with my mother and, issues in my childhood. So I accept my karma, but with me having accepted my karma and then in all the other things that I just mentioned to you guys with forgiveness, with compassion, with detoxing and fasting and taking back my innocence by being celibate until marriage, I'm telling you, all of these things has assisted me in being able to move forward and feeling restored, renewed, rejuvenated, and powerful. Absolutely powerful. I go to sleep like, and I feel clear. I feel karmic free. I don't have any karmic debt. I may have some financial debt I got to take care of, but I don't have any karmic debt. I feel purified by owning up and accepting, okay, I did deal with that experience. I had some karma from my past life. And the way that I corrected that is to not do karmatic things to others and to take care of my babies that I have now and to take care of the vessel that the Creator gave to me and to love this vessel by the things that I do with this vessel, by the way that I feed it, by the way that I care for it, by giving it enough exercise, by giving it the right amount of sleep, by giving it the best foods. That's how I take care of it, and being on a journey of celibacy until marriage, it is difficult. It is tough, but it's so rewarding. And I'm at the point now, it's been almost a year now, and I feel so empowered, and I don't feel like needy. I feel like I have my own energy. I feel pure in my own energy and essence. I feel clear in my mind, clear in my heart, clear in my body, and I feel good, and I know that I will get married one day, and it's going to be so rewarding, because any man that I've ever been with, they haven't been with this version of me, this version of me, this virgin of me. I am a virgin because I'm a virgin in my mind, my spirit, my body as well, and you can take that too. You could take your power back, and you could become purified and restored, and do the work, and don't shy away from psychological healing, speaking with a counselor, speaking with a therapist, a psychologist. I absolutely spoke with many counselors and therapists and psychologists and all of those. I take advantage. Somebody says, yeah, free counseling. Oh, well, here I am. So, let me talk about these things that has happened, or how I feel about the future. I will take advantage, because if we go to these professional chefs, when we go to restaurants because we want a professionally cooked meal, or we go to these professional fitness trainers, we go to these professional massage therapists, we go to these professional astrologers, we go to all these beings of professionalism. Why can't we go to a professional that deals with psychology and deals with the mind? We absolutely should, Why would I don't anyways, so yes, therapy is important. I've done many years of therapy, of psychological healing. Everything starts from the mind. We create our whole realities from up here. So why wouldn't we take care of that part of ourselves more than anything? More than anything, So nevertheless, I just wanted to share this with you guys. So much light and love. Continue on your journeys of healing and restoration. I wish you guys the best. And if you ever need any help or any assistance, I am here to help you all. And I do astrology readings, but I also do counseling, spiritual sessions for $15 less than my than my astrology readings. So I do life coaching and spiritual counseling for 75 an hour, or for 45 for a half hour. If you need someone to talk to, definitely reach out to people. You know, I always give free advice. I do these videos. I always give love, or what have you. You're very welcome, beloved. You're very, very welcome. And I just want you guys to know that life is now, and life is beautiful. And I know many people are like, oh, well, when we die, we go to heaven, but they forget that earth is in the heavens. Earth is floating around in the heavens, and we are shooting off at 70 kilometers per second, following our sun, you know, in a vortex. It's like the sun is a comet and is shooting off through the universe. Our life is made up of way more magic than it is hard-written actual facts, and is definitely not made up of your past or what has happened to you. You have the ability to create your reality now, and you have the ability to take your power back and love yourself and love each other and have compassion for everyone, because you never know what another person has gone through or what they're currently going through. So peace, light, and love to you. Yes, heaven on earth. See you guys again. Bye-bye.